Jedi.
Your powers are weak, old man.
Always remember, your focus determines your reality.
Hello there.
General Kenobi! You don't know the power of the dark side.
Hello and welcome back to the Disciples of the Force podcast. What you just heard was our hooting as we just saw Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes last night.
That's right.
Good
Great movie.
Good film.
It's going in a different direction than I would have thought, but hey, that's not this podcast. That's for Film Fixation. Give that a listen when you're recording. I don't even know.
Sure. We're recording later this week, so if you'd like to listen up on that, there will be some different viewpoints on there.
Yeah, I always listen to them every time.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to listen to that one because I do want to hear because you had such a good review for it, and his was a 2-star.
I've been thinking on it. I'm like, I might lower it a little bit, but he's like egregiously low.
Yeah, I for me the whole time it was a 3.5 to a 4.
Yeah.
And so I'm like still in between that.
Yeah.
Anyway, like I said, they'll talk about it on Film Fixation. They'll get into all the nitty gritty.
Also, go ahead and listen to our friend Kaysen's podcast, Case in Point.
Mm-hmm.
He just had a great breakdown of the top 20 players he would draft or he would want as a GM for their next 7 years, which was a really good pod.
That's cool.
He talked about our pod a lot too, about this pod. He's promoting it big time. So,
hey, well, give him a listen.
We're scratching his back. But yeah, that's a great pod. What else was I going to say?
So I was going to say this before we recorded. I do want to bring Kaysen on and do like a Star Wars quiz with him because he doesn't know a lot, right?
No, almost
very
nothing.
little.
Yeah,
I think it'd be kind of fun.
It would be great. One time when he was here recording, I told him I'd pay him $50 if he could name 10 people on that, and he barely got 10.
Really?
Can you name 10 people on that poster?
Yeah, we got Boba Fett, we got Queen Padme Amidala, Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon, R2-D2, C-3PO, Luke, Leia, Han, Darth Vader, Little Annie. I almost did a terrible joke, and I want to apologize. I'm not even going to say that.
Don't even say it.
Yeah, I'll give away what I was going to Chewbacca, Obi-Wan, we'll call it good there. It's probably 10.
I can't see who you were pointing at. So.
Oh, that's even better. Anyway, I think it'd be a fun podcast.
That would be great. I'd like that. Okay, yeah. So this episode is going to be about the new Tales of the Empire TV show that came out on the 4th. On May 3rd, since the last time we recorded, we went and saw the Phantom Menace in theaters.
We did.
What'd you think?
I loved it because I've never been able to watch the Phantom Menace because we were -1 when it came out. When it came out, 99, so we were 1.
We were 1, yeah.
We were 1. I thought it was 97 for a second.
Yeah.
So I've never got to see it in that light and loved it. Jar Jar, I've always I hated him for a while, and then when I rewatched him, he's not bad. And this time, I kind of fell in love with him.
Dude, yeah, because it was me and you sitting by each other, just dying at everything Jar Jar was saying.
Giggling at Jar Jar, which probably pisses a lot of our viewers off.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
But I don't, and I've watched this movie maybe 2 years ago, and I don't think my humor's changed that much in 2 years, but Jar Jar is just hilarious. And it's just so funny to think to have waited 10 to 15 to 20 years for a new Star Wars movie in 1999. You've been waiting years for a new Star Wars movie. And that character plays such a prominent role. It is hilarious.
It's so funny.
That movie also is so long.
It's very long.
I don't know how long it is, but it feels very long. Maybe it's because I've seen it so many times and I'm like, I know how long this scene takes.
For some reason in my mind, I honestly think it's 2:45.
Yeah, it's got to be close.
Phantom Menace runtime.
More than 2:20. It's over 2.5.
It's 2:11.
What?
Yeah, it feels definitely longer.
Wait,
than 2:11.
211 minutes?
No, 2 hours 11 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's what it says.
It feels forever long. I was... What were we doing the night before that I was so tired for?
I don't know.
Were we playing Warzone the night before or something? I don't know. I was crazy but tired.
So was Jaren. He was out too.
Okay. I fell asleep.
So it might have been a Warzone.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was great to see it in theaters. If you get the chance, go.
Yeah.
Because like Spenny said, it's a great vibe to be there in theaters. That's the second Star Wars movie I've seen in theaters now. First one was peace sign.
Yo, celebrate.
First one was Return of the Jedi.
Oh yes, I'm so mad. I couldn't see that.
Excuse me. I've seen other
re-releases.
that's the second re-release. Sorry,
but yeah, I wasn't able to watch that because they only had them up north, and I was in the theater. Also, the last thing I was going to say about the Phantom Menace, I just watching the Duel of the Fates was awesome. Just to, like the sound and just the whole big screen to take it in.
Yeah.
Never been able to watch that and go left to right between Darth Maul and Obi-Wan. You know, it's always just
great
my
point.
head's just focused. So it was really awesome. So
it was great.
Good things to come.
Yes.
Sucks that we couldn't go to the marathon. I saw some people post, and I was like, I was torn because I was like, I think I'd be burnt out after Return of the Jedi. And to go into the last trilogy, I think I'd be burnt.
No way. The way I felt, there were some theaters that were like they were feeding them, you know, like one theater I saw brought in like PF Chang's or whatever.
Yeah, I saw that one too. Yeah.
I was like, that could be a pretty good vibe.
That would
food
be nice.
Included and stuff. But how I felt walking out of one movie, I was like, it must be because I've seen him so many times.
I think it definitely is.
But I was like, that was so long. I can't imagine sitting here for 24 hours. I'm trying to look at our...
Yeah, 20. I mean, that was the whole thing. I was like, when they showed me how long 24, like, of course I know how long 24 hours is, but when they put it in like perspective with the movies and the breaks, I'm like, geez, that is a long time.
Yeah, exactly. Also, we got a first look at the Acolyte series.
Yes, we did. That was a big thing.
That was about 2 or 3 minutes. They played it after the end of the Phantom Menace. What do you think?
So my first takes away. Golly, dude, I wish I could speak. Takes away. So there was a couple CGI moments there that I was like, that looked a little shoddy. But apart from my negative, what I will say the positive, I do like how much they're using the Force.
Yeah.
I think the Force is such an awesome thing, and we see it, of course, but like in the Acolyte, in that 2 minutes, we saw a lot. They stop themselves from falling with the Force. They jump up the stairs with the Force. They block the blade coming in with the Force, like very heavily used, which is cool because maybe I wonder if that's going to play into why don't the Jedi in the Republic use it as much. Of course, it is used, like I'm saying, but it just seemed like it was really prevalent there.
Yeah, you should read the High Republic books.
I need to.
There's like a different connection with the Force during the High Republic era, you know?
Okay,
yeah.
That I didn't know.
It seems like deeper and it's more used. Like there are different Jedi with different Force abilities that we don't get to really see in the movies. So it'd be interesting to see if they go into it.
Okay. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, it was an action scene in a bar or in a cantina. Parts of which we've seen in the trailers. And I wasn't completely sold on the action. It was very acrobatic. I don't know how to describe the way it was.
That's the word I would use for it, what we saw.
So I wasn't really sold on that. That being said, the action is never really my favorite part of Star Wars. So as long as the story is good and like the CGI was okay, right? There were some issues, like you said, but the set looked really good.
Yeah, it did.
And some of the other characters in the scene looked really good.
Yes.
So I'm like, if they nail those things and get a solid story, I'll be happy.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Because I can handle, some like CGI for a second. Like, like for example, in the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes yesterday, there was a couple times where they moved and their head kind of went kind of weird, and I was like, that's fine. Like I can take a couple hiccups like that, and if that's what this is, then I'm with you on that.
Right.
But it did look like they're using more practical effects as well with the people, the scenery, and everything.
Yeah, maybe that's why some of the fighting looked so funny. Like you could tell they were using wires. For example, when she kind of like runs up the staircase. Yeah,
that's the part that
I was like, that's a little rough. I don't like that. So maybe that makes of practicality and special effects is going to be interesting, but we'll see.
Yeah. But I'm hopeful. I like you're saying, I really hope the story is really well made.
Yeah.
Because if the story's super good, then you can look past some of those.
Absolutely.
So I'm with you on that.
But yeah, so we're excited for it. We can't wait to cover it. I've got some news pulled up here.
Do it. Star Wars news.
I sent it to Spencer over Instagram.
Oh, shoot.
One of the posts I sent you before was Karen Fukuhara.
Oh, yeah.
Kimiko.
I did see that one.
Dude.
Yeah, she was
That's just over here in the corner of my eye. I wasn't listening to that thing you were just saying.
Well, when you're looking that good,
Dude, she is hot. She's on my top 10. maybe one of these episodes during a slow week we'll do our top 10s for our fans.
Might as well.
Yeah.
Just break it down to the slideshows.
But Karen Fukuhara is on it. If you don't know Karen Fukuhara, go watch The Boys on Amazon Prime Video. She's great. She plays Kimiko. She's also in The Boy and the Heron. I don't even know why I'm talking about her. She's great.
She's just on your mind.
Very talented, very pretty. Okay, news. Skeleton Crew set to release Christmas 2024.
Oh, that's right.
So we finally get a date.
Finally got a date for that.
That was revealed by director John Watts.
Which you're going to hate because it's going to be Stranger Things in Star Wars.
I love Stranger Things. I love 11 and
12.
Finn Wolfhard.
Oh, nice. Hey, this guy knows.
Is that his name or is that the character's name? I think Finn Wolfhard.
I think it's the actor.
Yeah.
Why does Finn sounded right though?
Finn Wolfhard is a Zionist, I hear. I don't want to get political.
He is I forgot.
But that's why I'm not watching Stranger Things.
For him. Nice. Yeah. Hey, honestly, respect. Keep to your values.
Sure.
He's 5'11". Short king. Anyway, what other news do you have?
This isn't really news, but next Star Wars showrunner confirms Disney is moving away from George Lucas's idea of the Force.
Oh.
So that's the Acolyte, moving away from George Lucas's idea of the Force, where there's balance. So I think that quote is kind of taken out of context.
Yeah.
From what I read, it seems like they're just saying there's not only the rule of two is not going to be a thing in this show because there's an Acolyte and they're not actually a Sith. And I just think that's a weird headline to pull. So that's not really news. It's just something we saw.
It's just an interesting one. The biggest news was dun, 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 dun.
What?
Lego Star Wars.
Yes. Oh, yes. That is big news.
Yeah.
I didn't send that over Instagram, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. We got the trailer for it.
Yeah. Lego Star Wars Rebuild the Galaxy, I
That's
think is what it's called.
So it's kind of a what if basically series.
Yeah.
Probably the closest we'll get if less they do something.
Yep. And the trailer looks really fun. It's not going to be canon, obviously.
Right.
And we wouldn't want it to be like we want them to have fun with whatever they're doing.
Exactly.
But yeah, closest thing we're going to get to a what if.
It's super cool. We're getting Darth Jar Jar.
Yep.
Huge.
Which is not even a what if. That's canon.
That is canon. He's a Sith Lord.
But yeah, also like the Geonosians. What if they were?
That almost sounded like a Geonosian right there. That little click.
Shit. I can't remember. I got to watch the trailer again, but it looks fun.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it.
Ahmed Best will be reprising his role as Jar Jar.
Yes.
Which is super fun.
Yes.
There was one other thing I was going to say about it. Oh, not about it, but I don't know about you. I love those Lego movies.
Oh, yeah. They're great.
The Lego movie, I loved when it first came out. I don't think I'd love it as much, but I thought it was such a fun thing. The Batman Lego movie.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, really? I'm surprised because Jaron loves that movie.
Really?
I don't know if he still does, but he was like, one night he was harping like, guys, we got to watch it. It's so funny. And I giggled more than I was thinking I was going to.
Okay, I'll have to watch it.
Movie.
You guys know we love Legos. Maybe for when that comes out, we'll have to do another giveaway. We haven't done a giveaway in a long time.
That's true. And now we're got some traction that it'll actually.
Yeah, it might actually blow up.
Yeah, so we should definitely do that. I agree with you.
Don't. Just kidding. I was gonna say, don't enter the giveaway if you live outside of the U.S., but we will send outside of the U.S. We just haven't had a winner outside of the U.S. yet. Wait, no, we have.
No, we did. I had
that British guy.
I had to send it to Britain. Yeah. So if you don't know, what happened was.
Yeah, go into it.
We bought it from Target. We were gonna ship it out. I didn't think anyone would win. I told the guy he had won, and then he sent me his address, and I was like, "Oh, damn! He lives in Great Britain."
Yeah.
Which is fine because it was for everyone. But I was like, I can't. I went to go ship it, and it was gonna be how much? It was gonna be like.
It was a lot.
It was like I want.
It was like $40 shipping, something like that.
More than what the Lego set was.
Yes.
And I was like, this is insane. So then I went to Amazon, and luckily I was able to ship it through. Bought it in Amazon and shipped it to his house.
Yeah.
But there was even a problem there because he didn't have like a standardized box. It was so weird. Luckily he got it. It was at his neighbor's.
Yeah.
He was able to get it. So.
Also, there was the other guy that won, or was this the same guy?
It was in India.
No. This one we couldn't contact. Like we couldn't DM him, and then.
Yeah. He takes a picture every day.
TikTok pic every day.
Yes,
yeah.
that's exactly what it is.
Yeah. Uh,
That one was a hard one to do. So maybe we won't do a giveaway. Now I'm really
yeah, actually, F the giveaway straight up. If you want us to do a giveaway, comment on our YouTube video.
comment down below.
Because we're not getting comments, I don't think. I'm actually not looking. Are we getting
We
comments?
get
We're getting
one.
likes.
We've gotten our like and comment ratio isn't great on YouTube. But like we never get the comments that are usually there are me saying something like, "Sorry for yada yada," like the audio from 2 weeks ago.
That's funny.
Also, seriously sorry about the audio. I don't know what the hell has been going on.
Yeah. We're trying a different setup this time.
So we have the Foca right and it's not working. So that's why we're working off of one.
I want to sell these so bad. I want to get a 4-piece.
Where you think if we just have to get a longer cable up, I think we could definitely do it.
And then we could just put it on a little table right there or
I
something.
agree. Yeah, maybe we should. Because the only thing I was hesitant of was like, well, then I can't use this for my music, but I haven't made music in so long, so I don't care.
And you haven't had it. Have you taken that home at all?
No, I was going to one time, and if I want to later, I'm sure I can easily buy one of these refurbished. So I don't care.
Well, we don't have to.
No, I
No, let's not do it.
Let's do it.
Let's not do it.
Oh, drama.
Okay. Should we get started?
Yes, but before we get started, sorry, you guys, we're edging you. I started the Attack of the Clones novelization on Tuesday, finished it today.
Oh, hell yeah.
It was so quick because it was only like 4 hours long.
Okay.
And it really didn't offer very much outside of the book. I mean, outside of the movie. Basically, it just included like deleted scenes that are like.
Oh, that's really cool.
So it was cool. And of course, these aren't official canon. They're like, are they like legacy? I don't know. They're not canon though.
I thought it was pretty much everything that's not seen on screen is not canon.
Yeah, exactly. Super dumb. So it's like, yeah. Anyway, but there were two things I did like. I do like how it really shows why Padme is so against the army. And then it like plays into why Palpatine wants to kind of kill her because she's very much like, we don't need an army. I don't want an army, but it really harps on that.
Yeah.
It's the second time I've used harp today. Guess I really like that word.
Harp.
What's up? Third thing.
Yes.
What? Second thing, not third thing. It really goes into Anakin's feelings about Padme. Like there's a scene when Obi-Wan and Anakin are talking and like he heavily is alluding that he like really likes Padme and Obi-Wan's like kind of like brushing it off, like not wanting to accept that. He's basically saying, I got feelings for this girl.
Right.
So I thought that was cool. But the last thing that I thought was really cool is Dooku, when they're fighting this last battle, after the Battle of Geonosis, it says that Dooku is more of a fencer style, whereas which is not a good against blasters, but it's like it's used against other lightsabers. Right. But it says the Jedi did away with that because like we don't need this. We're never fighting other other people who have lightsabers.
Yes.
So, anyway, and so the technique that they had at that time was for blaster fire because that was more what they encountered, which makes sense. But Dooku really liked learning about it and like held true to that, and that's why he had such an advantage against them because he was more equipped to fighting against the lightsaber. Of course, it's not canon, but I did like that a lot. That was cool.
Okay, that's money. Well, I think that probably still is canon, that aspect, because I know fighting styles are still canon. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So,
but I don't think that's called the fencer. They call it the fencing.
There are different
names.
There are different names that are all made up or taken from Japanese or something. I don't know. But
what?
I'd have to look into it, but yeah.
Anyway,
that's very cool.
Yeah. So that book was way better than Phantom Menace. And
you finished it?
Yeah, it's done. I finished it in 2 days.
Jeez.
But it's only 4 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, listening to me, I always said this.
Okay, well, no, I listened to you, but I was like,
I'm joking.
And we had a long drive yesterday. We drove. Yeah.
That was the other thing, because that took out 2 hours. That's half the book.
That's why I was so surprised, actually, because I was listening to you, but you were listening to it last night. So I was like, how are you already done? Gotcha. Did you finish it on the way home last night?
No, I was 40 minutes left, so I went to the gym today, popped it in. Sure.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
What are you going to read next?
So I'm like, I just got to finish Revenge of the Sith.
Okay.
I said I'm torn. I really want to read, like physically read the Dune books, but I'm just so lazy that I might do the audiobooks.
I think the audiobooks would be better for Dune.
You think?
Yeah.
For me, what the hell?
No, for Dune. I think I'm
I thought you said you. I was like, Damn.
I'm a person that does not like reading sci-fi. I like listening to sci-fi.
Mhm.
And I listened to the Dune books, and they're great. They're just done really well with the
Okay.
sounds and all that stuff.
That's what I love. It's
yeah,
like-
exactly. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you sure you didn't say you?
I didn't say you.
That's it. I'm done. We can get into the actual thing.
You should let me know which. I want to listen to a book again. I'm running out of podcasts.
Yeah.
I've been reading a book physically,
Nice.
but I need to listen to some as well.
Okay. Yeah. Because I think my plan is to do Revenge of the Sith because I'm right there.
Mm.
And then I do want to get into the High Republic books because I'm like, well, we're to watch the Acolyte. It'd be good to have.
Yeah.
So part of me might even just, I don't know, just go to that and then read Revenge of the Sith.
That's a good point.
Whole reason I did all of this is because I wanted to get to Revenge of the Sith.
Right.
Because there's some cool stuff I've seen. So
Yes.
I'll pray and get back to you about it.
Okay. Thank you, dude. Okay. Should we get into Tales of the Empire?
Yeah, 20 minutes into it. Yeah.
Yeah. I only watched the first 2 episodes. Did you watch?
I've only watched 2 as well,
Oh, really?
which kind of sucks because I keep getting TikToks and I have to skip them.
Yeah.
I don't want to know.
I was excited for the third one,
I know.
but my lunch break was over and I had to go back.
I'll probably watch the third one tomorrow, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. So
I'll probably watch all of them tomorrow.
really?
I don't know.
Okay, well, this first arc is about Morgan Elsbeth. It's following the same format. Tales of the Empire is following the same format as Tales of the Jedi, which is 3 episodes for the story of a life of a character that we know. So we're learning about Morgan Elsbeth, who was featured prominently in Ahsoka and first appeared in The Mandalorian. She is a Night Sister of Dathomir, a witch of Dathomir. And we first see her on the planet Corvus. She's called the Magistrate. We see her in a cool Kurosawa-esque duel with Ahsoka, and it's very cool.
Yeah, super sick.
I really like that episode. That's one of my
episode's
favorite
really
episodes
good.
of The Mandalorian. Because first, that's when we first see Ahsoka in live action, correct?
Yep.
And it's also got that, like, it's got the Western style duel and the Japanese style duel in the same episode. I think that's just one of the best homages to the origins of Star Wars. It's a great episode.
Was that season 2 of Mandalorian or
I believe so. Yeah.
season 2 was great.
Yeah. Jeez.
So we got to rewatch
Let's get
that.
back to that, dude.
Jeez.
Yeah, seriously.
So,
Pretty good episodes. The first one, not a whole lot goes on.
no.
It is cool to see the destruction of Dathomir, because that's been alluded to. I don't know if we've actually seen it.
To my knowledge, no.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Yeah. Anyway, that's very cool.
Yeah. I do like how her arc is or each episode is like the path of fear, the path of anger. And what's the last one?
I don't know.
It would be whatever Yoda says. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate.
Hate leads to
hate.
suffering.
So the third one is the fear to hate, which I thought was cool.
Okay,
For
cool.
the title names. One thing I will say is when the title sequence started up for this episode, I was ready for the Bad Batch, the whatever the noise is. And I was like, dang, I'm not going to say
over,
that.
dude. It's
It's
over
done.
forever. Can you believe that?
But I do like the opening of this episode with General Grievous killing the Night Sisters.
Yes, he's badass.
He is so cool.
Yeah.
I forget that. I'm glad we get to see him. And I feel like I wish we would have seen him more in the Clone Wars. We see him a lot.
We
But
see him a
like,
lot.
I would love to see him more.
He's played off as very clumsy and funny in the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
In this, he's very intimidating and scary.
Super
And
scary.
so I wish we got more of that.
Yes.
I think that's a general consensus among Star Wars fans, because when he first appeared in the Clone Wars 2D animation, he was like badass.
Yeah.
And was tearing up Jedi. He was a bona fide killer, you know? And then in Revenge of the Sith and the Clone Wars, he's kind of nerfed a little bit.
Yeah.
He's kind of played for laughs. So it's great to see him like this again.
Super sick.
My question is, do we need a Morgan Elsbeth exploration? Do we need to explore her character?
You know, I think that's a good question. I don't think she's very interesting per se, but I think it does fit well because we don't have much on her. Because
It's a great point.
And I think going into with Ahsoka, how that's going to keep playing in, and she's a part of that. Maybe that's why they're also building, because like we have her in Mandalorian, and now we have her in Ahsoka. Maybe we should give her more of a backstory.
It's a great point.
So I think
Jeez, that's a
maybe.
great point.
Stop.
She's just like who's Ming Na Wen's character? What's her name?
Gulp. I have no idea what you said to me.
We were talking about her a couple episodes. How we were like,
Oh, Nalase?
not Nalase.
Might have not heard Ming, what's her name?
Ming Na Wen. She's the bounty hunter.
Oh,
Oh, it's Nalase.
it's actually Nalase. It's what the heck is her name? Oh, we're gonna have to cut this.
No, leave it in. The people got to know.
Book of Boba Fett. I can find it quicker there because she didn't pop up when I put it in. I'm like, I love this. Just
The point is gone for the listeners. Fennec Shand.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Jeez.
We were talking about how
We're gonna get
we were
bored
like-
of how many times we've missed a name.
seriously.
Jeez, that's brutal.
At least I remembered the actress's name.
Yeah, it's
Is
good.
that her actual name, or did I just say it wrong? Fennec Shand.
That's funny. It said Jennifer Beals. I was like, "Oh, sorry, dude," but no, it's Ming Na Wen. That was for a
Okay.
different character.
Okay, good. I was like, jeez. We talked a few weeks ago about, do we need more Fennec Shand content? Do we want it? Does anybody want it? I think Morgan Elsbeth is honestly a more compelling character.
Yeah,
I think
yeah, I agree. Actually,
she was really cool in The Mandalorian, as I said.
Mhm.
I kind of cooled to her in Ahsoka, and that's kind of shaping my feelings going into this. And with the first episode being so kind of je ne sais quoi,
that's good.
being so, I don't know, just not a ton going on. I was
Right.
like, do we need this?
Yeah,
Just kind of being a baby about it.
but
Then the second episode picks up.
yeah,
Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's just, I see what you're saying. I agree 100% that first episode, I feel like they had to put that lot of action in the very beginning because
Yes.
the rest of it's just like,
Yeah.
what am I watching?
Yeah, exactly. And I get that. I mean, it's good from a storytelling standpoint because now we know the loss that she's been through,
Yes.
the different ideologies that shaped her,
Mhm.
especially before she turned to the Empire and why she had to turn to the Empire. So
Yeah.
it's good. I'm not bagging on the story. I just wasn't very interested in it
Right.
because I don't think I like the character as much as I used to.
Yeah, and that's fair.
Yeah.
But I also going back to what you're saying, I just thought about this when you're asking if we need it. I feel like maybe we don't, in the sense of I kind of like mysteriousness.
I do too. Yeah, that's a great point.
Because I do like the fact that we just had her. Morgan Elsbeth just shows up, and then she's like, all of a sudden in Ahsoka, we're like, oh, she's buddies with Thrawn.
Right.
How did this all happen? And so I do like the mystery in Star Wars. So I think it could go either way.
That's a great point.
So
One last note I had on this first episode. I love the Clone Wars animation.
yeah,
Just want to put
Love
that out
it.
there. This is now the fourth project that they've done in that style of animation.
Mhm.
The Clone Wars, The Bad Batch, Tales of the Jedi, Tales of the Empire.
Mm-hmm.
So this has kind of become like the default Star Wars animation,
Yeah,
right? And I was like, the only other examples we have, to my knowledge, are, of course, the non-canonical 2D animation,
which I love that animation.
which is great. Yeah, the Samurai Jack is what I call it.
exactly. Yeah, that's exactly right.
yeah.
because that's when it was big too, right? Samurai Jack.
Yeah, and it's the same creator.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
And there's also the Resistance
And
show, which none of us watched,
And Rebels.
and Rebels.
And Rebels isn't really. It's similar. It's like adjacent to this
Yes.
animation, but it's different.
But it's not nearly as good.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Yeah. And so I was like, do they need to branch out and do a different animation style? No. For me, no.
No.
I'm okay if everything else in Star Wars is animated like this. I still
Yeah.
want them to take risks and things like that, but if the alternative is Rebels,
I
I don't want
100%
it.
agree.
Yeah.
This style just fits. It looks good.
yeah.
I mean, going off of the Bad Batch, it was just so
Yep.
like you keep that caliber. But with that being said, I would love them to just do the Samurai Jack animation of something.
That'd be so cool.
I don't know what it would be, but I would love to watch
Yeah.
it.
And I mean, there are a lot of cool things going on in animation right now, like DreamWorks,
Mm-hmm.
their Puss in Boots, The Last Wish,
Yeah.
and another movie they're coming out with later this year. The animation's just so cool. That was all sparked, of course, by Sony's Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which is a great
Amazing. So good.
animated movie. So, like, there's ways that they could branch out, but at the same time, I just don't want it. I think these characters look great in this animation.
Exactly. Yeah. I think if you're gonna branch out, you got to do characters we don't know.
Yeah,
'Cause I don't
that's a
want.
great point.
I don't want to see Obi-Wan in a style that I'm not used to anymore with animation.
That's a great point.
So
To that point, going into the second episode, Rook, Thrawn's assassin.
I forgot about
I
it.
always hated him
Yeah.
in Rebels because he's ugly.
Yes.
In this, he's ugly, but he looks so much better.
He does
if that
look a
makes sense.
lot
And
better.
Thrawn looks badass.
Oh, so
So like these characters just look better in this medium.
Absolutely.
Or in this style rather
Yeah.
than Rebels. So
Absolutely. So I'll. So you say you're done with the first episode?
yes, yeah,
I'll just rattle off a couple of mine. That's all right.
yep,
I love seeing the B2 droids.
yes,
I've always wondered why were they just more expensive to make? Why were they not the standard?
yeah. I think they just the B ones were easier to make, easier to maneuver and deploy.
But I love the B2s. I think they're super cool. Let's see. That one I don't know what. Oh, so General Grievous is badass. The laughing after killing the mom, and then they start running, and then he tells them to run. And he's like laughing at it.
Yeah,
Oh, that, like you're saying, he was so dark. Like, that is crazy, dude. Loved that. And then we hear him start laughing when Morgan Elsbeth passes out, which I thought was cool. Just showing that. The last two notes I have here, though. The mountain clan that lives in the mountain reminds me of the people of like the Pueblo people of the indigenous tribes that lived literally into the mountains. So I was like, that's definitely taken from there. I thought that was cool. And then the last thing I liked about it was she's telling Morgan Elsbeth that your path is set and I can see what it is to come. And it cuts to Morgan Elsbeth standing behind fire, like just everything, all the destruction. So like a good, I almost said illusion. That's not the word. What's that called?
foreshadowing.
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
Heck yeah.
My brain stopped working. So I really like that. Thought that was cool. Just a little aspect of it. So
Very good. Love it.
love it.
Love it. Okay, episode 2. It's cool to get a reference to the TIE Defenders.
Yes, very cool.
Yeah. Was there ever mention of it in Rebels that it wasn't Thrawn's? I thought Thrawn like dreamed that up from the bottom up.
You know, it's a good question because in the book it's talked about heavily too, and I'm trying to remember if it comes from him or if it comes from his team.
Yeah.
I can't tell you the answer.
But now we know it comes from Morgan, I guess.
Yeah.
She designed it or what?
See, and that's
That's what we're meant to believe, it seems like.
that's what we're definitely led to believe. So I wonder if the third episode will put more light onto it.
Yeah.
But it sounds like, I mean, yeah, it sounds like she's orchestrated this whole thing, right? Because she's over the planet. She's got them to start working on it. So it sounds like it's her baby. Like she started it from scratch and designed it. So I don't know.
But yeah, cool to see that. Cool to see why the Empire rejects it. Obviously those funds were going to the Death Star, but on the lower level they were denying it because they just don't value the lives of their people. You know, they were like, yeah, this just isn't the way to do it. It's just too costly and things like that. You know, so it's really interesting to see the pitfalls of the Empire like that.
Yeah, exactly. I also like the fact that it just shows that they were also just using her to figure out the resources.
Uh-huh.
Take those planets. They're like, we actually, like, to start off, we thought it was kind of a cool idea, but then we realized we could get where you're getting your stuff from.
Exactly.
Which is, again, I always say this, I say it every week, just plays into how evil the Empire is. And I'm going to keep saying it.
Yeah, keep saying it, dude.
It does. It literally does.
To that point, it was cool to see Corvus, the planet that she lives on, pre-destruction, because when we see it in The Mandalorian, all those trees are burnt. It's all like covered in smog. It's completely destroyed, so it seems. And of course, we're meant to believe that comes after the Empire invades it and steals all their resources, I think.
That's a really good point. I just totally forgot that it's like desolate.
Yeah. Wow. We'll have to see what happens in the third episode. It's so funny. These episodes are out and they're like 8 minutes long, and we're like, we'll just have to see. We could have watched it.
We're squeezing out content, dude. We're holding on.
You probably know this guy, Captain Pelion.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about him, because I've only seen him in this when the subtitle said Pelion, and I've seen him in The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
During the Shadow Council scene, whatever. So
it's funny you say that, because I was going to ask you about him, because I know he's in the Thrawn books.
Yes. So I think he serves as Thrawn's like right-hand man.
He's his right-hand man, but I just cannot. Like, I read the Thrawn books, I want to say a year ago, but it's probably only like 8 months ago.
Yeah, I don't think it was
a year. It was a year ago. I do not remember. Yeah. Well, I can say this. Whoever he was, oh, shoot, though. Because there is, I got to look at that. There's a part in the book, spoiler if you're going to read them, where there's a captain who was taking resources and stealing them, and he gets caught. And I don't know if it was him, because I didn't really pay attention to very many names. So it could be. So either it's him or he just wasn't that memorable in the book is the only two answers I have for you.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to see if there's like a quick explanation about.
Yeah. Let's see. I'll look up who gets caught in the Thrawn books for stealing Empire resources.
Yeah, but what I'm seeing is he was like a real true believer in the Empire. Wasn't just doing it for himself, but like he really believes that the Empire could be used for good.
I wish I should have the answer. I just don't. He just wasn't memorable in my mind.
It's okay. No, that's okay. Well, I know he's also from Star Wars Legends, from the original Thrawn books.
I did see pictures.
He might have played a bigger role in that because I know he's a beloved character. My boy Tim, who also has a Star Wars podcast, I have forgotten the name of the podcast. I will link it down below. Maybe go check it out.
We'll put a link.
But I know when that Mandalorian episode came out featuring him, he was telling me a little bit about the guy. So, and I know he's read all of the non-canon books as well. So.
Okay. To answer to the first thing I was saying, it is the guy who gets caught stealing resources. That is not who, whatever his name is. It's a different person.
Okay, cool.
Anyway, but the next note I have here is talking about when Thrawn shows up. I like that encounter because she fights Rook.
Yeah.
And they're going toe to toe, which I didn't know he was voiced by very famous guy. You think who's the guy who's in all the Star Wars films? I ask this all the time.
Warwick Davis.
Is he the little person?
Yeah. Is that his name? That doesn't sound right. Warwick Davis.
If I'm being honest with you. Man, we were doing so good this episode, and we're just falling off in this last little bit.
Warwick Davis is his name, so I'm still doing good.
But I just don't remember who plays Rook. All right, whatever. I'll get to it later.
Let's see.
I just, for some reason, can't type episode 2. Jeez Louise, dude.
It's Warwick Davis.
Oh, it is him.
In Rebels, at least. I don't know in this.
No, because it's the same.
Okay, sick.
So he voices him, which I thought was cool.
Dude, that's my guy.
He's just still popping up in Star Wars projects.
Yeah.
Respect.
I
didn't notice that he was in Phantom Menace either.
Yeah, he's there at Jabba's palace.
Exactly.
Or at the Boontiif Classic, yeah.
I didn't notice that until we were watching in the theater, so I thought that was cool.
Yeah, he's hanging out with Watu, I think.
Oh, little Annie.
Whoa, dude, that's pretty good. Okay, I only have a couple notes left here.
Go for it. I only have one more, so.
I just love, again, the theme of trading lives for profit. Mm-hmm. You know, we see it in our world today. Yeah, we don't really see that, actually. But no, we do. And I just love when Star Wars is on the nose about stuff that's going on in the world. It's great.
Very fun to see.
And one question I just wanted to end with is, or you say your thing first.
I love when I just love Thrawn, first off. Right. He at this point is my favorite villain. After hearing his backstory, where he comes from, how smart he is, how just tactical he is, and his voice, so sick.
Yeah.
Anyway, with all that being said, he says this line that I loved. He says, they're like talking about the rebels, and he said, it's a sickness that kills both common man and king. Like when he's talking to Morgan Elsbeth, saying, like, these guys are a threat to everyone.
Yeah.
They're not just a threat to the Empire. It's to the common man and people who are wealthy. It's, we're done for. Which I think is a very powerful thing to say if you want someone to get on your side. Yeah. And that's what Thrawn does. He's very smart with the way he speaks. So.
Yeah. He's also, he's not a liar, and he's not dumb either.
That's a very good point.
That's the thing. And he speaks true about that because we know from Andor that the rebellion doesn't only hurt the Empire. It hurts normal people in the galaxy too, Mm-hmm. Luthen's whole mission is to create pressure so that the Empire clamps down on normal people more so than they are, mm-hmm. in effect making the effects of the Empire more powerful so that it will catalyze a rebellion, So of course people are hurt in that. People are killed in that process. So Thrawn is right about the rebellion killing commoners and kings,
It's true. Both, so. Yeah, because that's a very good point because, you made the excellent comparison with Andor, with Luthen using that way of, making the chokehold even stronger for the Empire. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a really good point. And maybe that's exactly what he's alluding to. I wouldn't be surprised.
Maybe.
Wow. Damn.
Star Wars, man.
Star Wars. I'll do it.
It's like poetry.
It rhymes.
Okay, my final question here.
Let's hear it.
So Morgan seems pretty all in on the Empire to me in that second episode. It seems like she really has a desire to get away from the people of Corvus and to be a part of the Empire. My question is, the Separatists killed her family. So does she see the Empire as the antagonist to the former Separatist alliance? Because if the Separatists killed her family and her world, that would mean that she's more aligned with the Republic, right?
Right.
Which turned into the Empire. So how often or how common is it for people to align with the Republic and still be okay with the Empire because it's just a continuation of it?
It's a really good question. I mean, I think I would say that has to be the majority.
Yeah, right?
Just like the lineage of just, we're here. We are the rebels. Are you dumb? You stupid little
dude,
baby.
you're not dumb.
We are the Republic, and we're going to the Empire.
Yeah.
I think for most common people, like, okay, yeah, whatever.
Right.
But I think with the other side of that, I think there's two people. Like, there's people who were for the Republic, hated the Separatists. Republic becomes the Empire. They say, F this, I want the rebellion. And there's people who were the Separatists who still get screwed over.
Right.
And say, F this, I don't want the Empire either. I want a rebellion.
That's
so
a great
I feel
point.
like there's probably a little pool of just kind of both going to the rebellion.
Yeah, certainly. I'm trying to think of Separatists that we know became rebels.
Yeah, it's hard because example we have is Forrest Whitaker's character
Saw Gerrera
being against the Separatists, but for the rebellion.
Correct. Yeah.
So we have that comparison. So yeah, I'm trying to think of another one that'd be the opposite side.
There are examples. I can't think of them right now, but that's part of it. Yeah.
What about the Neimoidians? Did they go to the rebellion? I don't think they did.
No, I don't know. But Luthen does say the Neo-Separatists, I believe, when he's talking to Saw Gerrera. He mentions several factions, and he talks about Neo-Separatists as part of what will become the Rebel Alliance, I believe. Now, don't quote me on that.
Quote him. Neimoidians join the rebellion. The planet of Moidia. The Canadians. Did the Canadians join the rebellion? That's awesome.
Did they? For the British, man.
Oh, what the freak they did.
Okay, yes. So the Neo-Separatists Coalition was a group related to the fallen Confederacy of Independent Systems, or the Separatists, that sought recognition from the Imperial Senate, yada, yada. And that was... Yes, so that was Anto Krieger was the leader of the Neo-Separatists who was ambushed, and that's the one that Luthen was like, don't tell him. We'd rather Anto Krieger dies than...
Yes.
Anyway.
Yes.
So yes, that's one example that we have.
Okay, perfect.
At least.
So they exist on both sides.
But no, it's a great point that you said, like, some people are just okay with the rise of the Empire. And we see that when when she says, so this is how democracy dies, with thunderous applause.
Bars.
Is our democracy dying here in the U.S.?
Is it dying or is it reviving,
That's true, dude.
I just don't know.
Comment down below who you're voting for in this election. We're going to start a political podcast. Those are the rest of my notes. So
that's all I have as well. I'm excited to see what this last episode is. I mean, what's going to happen? I mean, it's got to wait so long to watch it. We're doing this content for you guys, so we're just squeezing it. Yeah. But I do wonder how we're going to... So we know June 4th, the Acolyte drops, right? First week of June.
Yes, around there.
So we have these 2 episodes we did this week. Next week, we're going to do 2 episodes. Or would we do 3? That's what I'm confused.
Yeah, we should have just done 3 today, and then we could have done 3 next time.
But I think there'll be we could have just taken a break for that week.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. Oops. All right. It's no big deal. It's a huge deal. 1, 2. No, yeah. Because next week if we watch them, if we did 3 today, 3 next week, then we'd have a week before, which would have been fine. So we should have done it that way. Oh well. Baby Drizzy.
Baby Drizzy. Okay.
Right.
Wait, who are you guys rooting for in the Drake Kendrick beef?
Comment below.
I'm Team Kendrick.
I'm Kendrick too. And let me tell you, we got the time. I have the platform.
Yep.
I've never hated Drake. I loved old Drake.
Yeah, I loved old Drake.
New
Circa
Drake,
2016.
I will say this. I always try to listen to an album of an artist that I used to like to see if maybe they're coming back. There's always one song on a Drake album that I'm like, oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Not a Drake like fan diehard.
Yeah.
Kendrick though, love, because I'll say it, Kendrick, musician. Dude is very innovative, makes very sick music, and
Yes.
just very, I don't know, it's poetic. Drake is more definitely the pop, just put out the songs. Let it
Yes.
ride. Anyway, with that being said, Kendrick, I've always loved him, and he's who I want to win, and he's currently winning, so that's
Yes.
my thing. And if you don't know what's happening in the rap world, Kendrick Lamar's a rapper and Drake's a rapper, and they got beef, and I'm talking un montón de beef.
Un montón de beef.
De bife, as they say in Portuguese. I don't think they say de, but bife.
Do bife? Could it be?
I think it could be. Up
don't
for
know.
beef, I think it'd be no. I don't know. I've stopped learning Portuguese and now I'm on German.
How do you say beef in German?
Actually, I have no idea. I haven't gotten there. How do you say?
Fleisch.
Oh, yes, because it sounds
It's
like
just like
flesh.
flesh. Yeah.
I did know that. Ich bin Spencer.
Yes.
Anyway, they've probably stopped listening. We probably have one person listening to this part, and it's me.
Thank you.
In the future.
Thank you, Spencer, for listening. Okay, is that it then?
That's all.
Okay, well then, thank you for being a disciple of the Force.